Right now, I'm about to make our fruit punch using our exotic Jamaican fruits. I have 2 Julie mangoes and I have several Otaheite apples that I'm going to dice and put in my blender. And I have just one star fruit, or if you please, it's also called Chinese gimbalin. We call it Chinese gimbalin. I had more than one, but somebody ate off the others, so I only have one. So I won't get, my juice won't pop as well as I would have liked to. So I'm gonna have to add some ginger and some lime juice to it to make it pop tonight, because I don't have enough of the star fruit. But of course, we have to turn our hands, or in the Jamaican parlance, turn we hand make fashion. Yes. So right now I'm just cutting up the fruits. So I'm gonna drop my cherries. How could I forget the cherries? I got these cherries off my cherry tree today. I got these apples from my neighbor. I got these mangoes from my cousin, and the gimbalin from my cousin also. So I just collected all these fruits and decided that I am going to make my own vitamin C enriched juice. And guess what? I'm not going to add any sugar. The mango will automatically give me this enough sweetness, right? So the mango is my sweetener, if you please. All right, so I washed all of them already, so I'm just gonna pour them over into my blender, and I'm gonna just cut off the little rough edges of my apple and just take out the seeds. Here are the seeds. This is what the apple seed looks like. And of course I can always keep them to grow my own apple tree. Right, so I intend to grow my own apple tree. So I'm going to set some of these seeds, because my favorite apple is our own authentic Jamaican Otaheite apple. And when you blend this with any fruit, so you can do so with pineapple, you can blend it with just by itself with a little ginger. But of course, when you're doing it with ginger, do not put too much ginger. Just ginger is like a catalyst. It must just add to the flavoring of your juice. It must never ever overpower the juice unless you're making ginger ale. So some of the times people make juices and you can't taste the fruit itself. You're tasting only the ginger. Never you do that. Just a little sprig of ginger you need just to pop the taste of your juices. Okay, so if you're making cherry, if you're making straight apple, if you're making straight mango, any of those juices, and if you're mixing it with other fruits, then of course, you know, you don't need more than just a little sprig. So take out all the fruits that seem to, you know, have a little bad patch on them. Make sure, because some of the times when most of the times, fruits that are going bad, they tend to give the juice an off taste, and you don't want that. You want your juice to taste nice and fresh. Alright, so I'm pouring over all my cherries, and I'm gonna finish cut up my apples. My juice is going to be very tasty. And of course, you can, there's another fruit that goes very well with most of our fruits. And most of the times that fruit is sour. It's the passion fruit. If you just get a few passion fruits, I don't see much of that around these days. It tends to be sour, so it has its own tanginess like lime. So if you add like the passion to the apple, because the apple most of the time tend to have a flat taste, you know, apart from the ones that are not so fit. Those might be on the sour side, but at the same time, it may not give the juice enough tang. So the passion fruit is also another fruit, as I said, that gives your juice a nice tang. So it helps to really pop the juice. Anything with some of the pineapples as well are like that, like the cowboy pineapple. So if you want your juice to pop, you use a sour pineapple along with the ones that are not so sour to let your juice pop. Okay, so I'm gonna take out the pulp of my mango, just scrape it over, because as I told you before, this is gonna be my natural sweetener. Not gonna be adding any sugar to this juice. And there are some cherries as well that are very sweet and some are very sour. Those can also add its own natural tang. So it all depends on the fruit that you're using. That fruit will, you know, provide its own natural taste and will pop your juice at the end of the day. So all my cherries are in, so I'm gonna now scrape over my mango. Is my natural sweetener. Get everything in the blender now. Jamaica is so blessed. When I go around the different parts of the island as a realtor, we just have so many authentic fruits. There's a fruit right now that I've also used to make juice, and that is the red plum. That plum is going to come in season anytime now, and that too makes a very lovely juice. You just have to whip the seed in the blender. So you wash them carefully, put it in your blender, and you whip it, and you get off the pulp. And once the pulp is off, then you just add enough water to it, you know, to your satisfaction, and you're good to go with your juice. So we are very blessed indeed. And you know, some of the illnesses that we suffer, you know, because of the tropical fruits that we have here, really shouldn't have, you know, a lot of those illnesses. I was just sharing with someone the other day that as a child I never used to be a very sickly child, because I usually eat everything that is sour. The sour guinea, the sour mango, the sour orange, the sour tamarind. I ate tamarind till my tongue was scorched. And not realizing that, the vitamin C in it was really, boosting my immune system. So, they were high in antioxidant. So that is what, the vitamin C enriched fruits are high in. So you should consume as much of those as possible. That's why the dietitians will tell you, have your fruits and your vegetables and build up your immune system. So now I am going to close my blender and I'm going to whip and then I'm going to blend. A little water. So I'll show you when it is all done.